I have a Kenmore Model 110.28002012 washer and it will stop after the rinse cycle and not go into the spin cycle. Can unplug, then replug and turn to the drain/spin cycle and it will then spin, except when we have run a number of cycles and it will not work at all. Sears Repair came out and said he could not get a code, so he was lost. Wanted to replace the motor startup.
If no error code is occurring, the problem is all you can do is rely on experience and your best guess. But the most likely cause of this issue would be the actuator itself. This is the part that shifts the transmission from one fuction to another, and if it fails to shift, it will just sit there and won't go into spin. Sometimes unplugging the washer and plugging it back in will give the actuator another chance to shift, which is why unplugging the unit tends to fix the issue. Either way, I'd replace the actuator. Also, I'm not sure what Heat meant by motor startup, but the motor itself wouldn't likely be the problem if you can turn it back to wash and it starts washing again.
Is the actuator on the motor or just where is it located? Where is the actuator located?
It's mounted right next to the motor. Below is a video on how to access it and replace it. Click here.
I have receivers the new part and made the install. It seems to have fixed the problem after a few loads. Thanks help.
No problem, and glad to hear it. Have a great weekend.
I know that the part I replaced had fixed the problem, but only couple of cycles. Would like to reopen and see if he has another fix.
If the part fixed the issue at all, then it was definitely the problem, so you need to return it and get a new one if the new part came faulty. If the new actuator doesn't fix the issue, then you have a new problem and would need to start a new question.
It only worked time. Even with the old part, it would go through all the cycles on occasion. So I am back to the original question.
I'm not sure what to say based on the symptoms you had before the actuator is the issue, but you can try to pull up an error code and see if you get an error code that indicates something else. I've tried to explain how to do this to many people and reason they just can't get the sequence to work. Now, if you wanted to give it a shot and see if you can pull up an error code, here is the sequence you'll need to go through to display the error code. 1. Be sure the washer is in standby mode, plugged in with all indicators off. Press and hold the start/cancel button seconds to turn everything off. 2. Perform the following sequence of movement using the cycle selector knob. Note, after reset, sequence A through E must be completed within 6 seconds. Reset, rotate cycle selector knob counterclockwise to clear sequence. A. Rotate cycle selector knob clockwise 1 click and wait half a second. B. Rotate cycle selector knob clockwise 1 click and wait half a second. C. Rotate cycle selector knob clockwise 1 click and wait half a second. D. Rotate cycle selector knob counterclockwise 1 click and wait half a second. E. Rotate cycle selector knob clockwise 1 click and wait half a second. Now you are in diagnostics. Turn the knob until just the done LED is illuminated. Push start. Now turn the dial 1 click and now the error code is displayed in the form of LEDs along the progress line. Just note which lights appear and let me know and I can tell you what error you're getting. There will be 2 sets of lights that appear and I need both sets to know what error you're getting. I cannot help any further without this error code, so if you can't pull up the error code, it's time to call a technician out.
Ran the diagnostics and this is what came up. On the indicator light side, the group was sensing, personal, wash, complete cycle. The second group was only complete cycle. But on the estimated time remaining LED, the following came up, F9 and E1. I hope this led us in the right direction.
Okay, that in number 39, that's a drain issue. You in number 39, we're going to need to remove the drain pump and check blockage in the pump area. If you find nothing, make sure the drain hose is clear and then replace the drain pump if everything checks good. The drain pump is mounted to the bottom of the tub, so you access it the same way as you did the actuator, by tipping the washer backwards. Just be sure to drain out as much water as you can first and unplug the washer, because all the remaining water will come flooding out once you remove the drain pump.
If it is the pump, then why does it pump the water out when I put it on the drain spin cycle?
It likely just isn't pumping it out quick enough. As a side note, if the drain isn't clogged and the pump isn't the issue, the only other possibility is that your control board itself is bad. There is no way to test, but that would be the last resort.
Okay, I will check that out, but what control board are you referring to? It has two. W1035198 or W104800094. I looked this up on the Sears Parts Direct website to check prices and found both.
Neither, you need W104800184.
Pull off the pump and it was clean inside and in the drain lines. There was very little water that came out of the tub, so I am guessing that the pump is working. Opened the top and looked at the control board to see if there were any loose connection, but there were not. Also, the board is a W104800094. Not sure if I want to invest more money in this washer or just get a new one. With the cost of the actuator and if I need a pump and control board, I will have spent about 2/3 of a new one.
I'm not sure what to say. The error code says there is a problem draining, so if you didn't find a blockage and you wanted to go further, I would replace the drain pump as the next step.
Tyler, I ordered the control board that was listed in the Sears parts breakdown. After installation and sync, we have washed about 4 loads and it seems to have fixed the problem.
Awesome, well, I hope it continues to work.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.